Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the Crunch Lab subscription, specifically the car. Really cool machine, but the problem is the arm broke off. I got a few kids, so I'm not really sure how that happened, but they tried to glue it back together, left it overnight, and it still didn't dry because it's just school glue. So, and they probably couldn't find my super glue to glue their fingers together. So what we're going to do is measure it, draw it up, and 3D print it. So let's get that started. So first I'm going to get out my trusty paper and pad here. I'm going to get out my micrometers, and I'm also going to get out a brush pen because I can't seem to find a pen anywhere in the house. So here we are. So I'm just going to measure basically everything I can think of to measure. It's usually the easiest way to do it, and then once I go to draw it, I'm going to end up missing a measurement and go back to measure something else. I just like doing it this way. So from here, I got all the measurements that I think I know of, and then we're going to go into our program. I use Fusion 360. I just really like it. It's a really powerful program. It's a free program for personal use, and it just works really, really well. It can do everything you want it to do and more, basically, and there's a ton of info out there about it. If you need help or anything, just search YouTube or Google for it, and there's going to be a ton of videos about it. So here I'm going to save it as something, name it. Then I always start by creating a sketch. As you can see where I clicked earlier, I create a sketch, and then that way I click on the top plane. And then from there, I basically just going to draw out exactly what I found, what I basically measured the piece to be. And so I start with a circle, just draw it, type in what you want it to be, the size of the inner circle, you're going to put the size of the outer circle, and then from there I draw everything. And because of the way the arm is, there's only a couple measurements that need to be 100% exact. And so if it's a little bit off, it doesn't really matter if the arm's a little bit off centered or something like that. So whatever's the easiest way to draw it for you, I mean, it'll work. And then the fun thing is with a 3D printer, if it doesn't work, it's a tiny piece. And so you can just measure it and draw it again and then just print it out again. So from here, I'm just going to keep putting in all the dimensions that I measured. And I try to get them as close as possible. They don't have to be exact. But if they're within, I don't know what you call that, 10th or 100th of a millimeter, you're fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So now I really like just drawing. The reason I like drawing like that is because then all you have to do is just use the extrude button and you just make your object. So however thick it is, you make every single piece from there. So after that, I mean, you're pretty much done. You can just select it, right click over here at the bodies, and then just click save as mesh. And then just pick whatever folder you're in, save it, export it, and just open up in your 3D printing program, which in my case is for Prusa. And so we're gonna open it up, flip it to whatever orientation makes it actually print and doesn't give you warnings to say you need supports. I'm gonna save the file, and then we're gonna print. So you're gonna let it print, and then once you get done with the printing, you pull it off. I'm kind of impatient, so I'm just gonna pull the plate off so it can cool down. And then bend it so it can actually pop off. Then from there, since it looks like it's the right size, I'm going to put it up against the other piece, make sure it's the right size, and since it is, or close enough, let's stick it on the car and see what happens. So from there, you put it on the bolt okay, and it looks like it's moving like it needs to be, and it's got the correct gap that it needs to be able to hit the switch. So put on the wing nut, and we're going to start her up and see what it does. And look at that. Moves it back and forth. So beautiful. Hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. Simple as that. Takes a little time to learn some of the things, but once you have used the program, once you've printed some stuff, it's amazing what you can do. Thanks for watching.